Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, Organized with Joy. As you can see, I'm here in my bedroom today and I'm going to be doing some deep cleaning in my bedroom. But in addition to that, this is Thoughtful Thursday, and so a little bit later on in the video, I will share my thoughts on a topic in the voiceover. Also, today is the first Thursday of the month, and that means my Thoughtful Thursday series is a collaboration today. So I will be sure to have the playlist linked in my description box below so that you can go hear the thoughts of other creators who are participating in this collaboration today. Here, I'm going to be totally removing this quilt from our bed and putting it away for summer and early fall, just the months that are a little bit warmer. I've noticed the last couple of weeks, I have just felt so hot at night. So I decided that I just needed to remove this quilt and then we'll use our duvet cover instead, just for the warmer months. Also, I have to mention, in a deep clean, you would expect me to change the sheets, but I have a particular day that I change the sheets every single week, and it was not on this day when I was doing this deep clean. Here, I did decide to go ahead and purchase this oversized throw for the bottom of our bed during these warmer months, and I absolutely love the color of that quilt that we had on our bed, but like I said, I did want to take it off since it was so hot, so that is why I decided to purchase basically the same color. But in addition to that, I also wanted to get a pillow cover to cover our lumbar throw pillow that I keep on our bed, just the decorative pillow, just again for the summer and the early fall. I just feel like this is a little bit lighter and just nice for the warmer season. Okay, friends, for today's Thoughtful Thursday video, I wanted to address something that I've been thinking about lately, and that is feeling like a fraud. This is something most people experience at some point in their lives. This is such a common way to feel. So much so that psychologists have coined the phrase imposters syndrome to describe this feeling. Two clinical psychologists, Pauline Clance and Suzanne Imes, first identified and named this phenomenon back in 1978. The definition for imposter syndrome is the condition of feeling anxious and not experiencing success internally despite being high performing in external objective ways. This condition often results in people feeling like a fraud or a phony and doubting their abilities. I wanted to talk about this because I feel like it is one of those taboo subjects that people feel this way but don't talk about it. Like I mentioned, it is natural to feel like a fraud from time to time. Often it is just not true. We only see people from external appearances or what they portray, either on social media or in real life. Often we are comparing our internal feelings about ourselves to the external things we see others doing or accomplishing. I want to encourage you today to see things from a proper perspective when you are having those feelings. I want to share some practical things you can do when you are having this feeling. Feeling like a fraud can be a sign of self-sabotage, so be aware of that and then be intentional about addressing your feelings. The first thing you can do is self-talk. When you have negative thoughts that come into your head telling you that you are not enough, you are not competent, you are not successful, you can acknowledge that you feel that way, but remind yourself that you are enough, you are competent, and you are successful. If you can't do this in your head, perhaps process these feelings with a friend or use a journal to write down your fears about feeling like a fraud. We must find a way to break the cycle of ruminating and turn our thoughts towards the positive. Along with this, you can make a 2-column list with ways you are inadequate and ways you are competent. Sometimes writing it out, you may realize you are far more competent than you think, and this can help bring perspective. You might say, but what if my inadequacy list is longer than my competent list? Then I would encourage you to reframe your inadequacies. Often acknowledging our inadequacies is the beginning of growth. Look at your struggles as a way to learn and become stronger. Being realistic with yourself, evaluating areas of your life you do need to work on, and coming up with strategies to make changes may give you some peace of mind. Talking to someone who knows you well about your feelings can be really beneficial. Getting feedback from a trusted friend or family member can help you to have a better perspective. We are often much harder on ourselves than others are on us. Trusted friends or family members know you well enough to give honest feedback, but also see you in a different light than you see yourself. Lastly, be gracious with yourself. We often forget that we are aware of both the internal and external portrayals of ourselves, and therefore we can be hard on ourselves. Remind yourself that you are only human. You cannot be perfect and you will make mistakes, but that's all part of the growth and learning process. Well, friends, stay tuned. A little bit later in this video, I wanted to share a personal anecdote with you about feeling this imposter syndrome. So I will share that story with you in just a bit here. Welp, y'all, real life moment there. I do not know how this happened, but the cap screwed off of that wood cleaner and I picked it up just right and it slipped. Yeah, that was a mess. I did turn off the camera and clean it up really well with some water. I do need to steam vacuum in this room anyway this week, so I'm not too terribly worried about it. In addition to that, we really do need to replace this carpet soon. It has definitely seen better days. Okay, like I mentioned, I did want to share a personal anecdote with you about feeling this imposter syndrome. We all second guess ourselves. Earlier in the video, I was sharing some new pieces I added to my bedroom, a new throw blanket and pillow. That day, I was thinking about how much I talk on my channel about minimalism and intentional spending, and I also do a fair amount of decluttering on my channel as I continue to pursue minimalism. And sometimes when I bring new items into my home and share it on my channel, I can feel a bit like a fraud. Like, why am I buying more things when I'm trying to create a space that is minimal? First of all, whenever you're on a journey of any kind, it is just that, a journey. By the definition, it is an ongoing process and not a point that you get to. So pursuing minimalism for me is a journey for sure. I may make mistakes along the way. I may make poor decisions, but ultimately I'm trying to be intentional with what comes into my home. Most of the time with items like these two items, it is not an impulse purchase for me. I think about it for several days before I decide to purchase the items. With something like the items I shared in today's video, they are practical. Like I mentioned, we needed cooler blankets for the warmer months, and the pillow was just a cover to add to my existing pillow, just a design that I think works better for warmer months. In addition to this, one thing that I'm always trying to balance in my home is making my spaces warm, cozy, and inviting without having too much clutter. I love decorating our spaces to make our home a place that my family and friends feel comfortable and enjoy being in. Ever since I did my no spend year back in 2019, I am definitely more intentional about what I purchase. I used to peruse the aisles of Target or Home Goods, do online shopping, or I would be influenced by what others had and were sharing on social media. But now I am far less tempted to do this and find it an even more creative process to curate the items that come into my spaces or my wardrobe. Does this mean I will always be perfect in my shopping choices? No. Even if I'm intentional about what I purchase, you never know how much you will love something or how well it'll serve you. You make the best decisions with the knowledge you have in the moment. Keeping your focus on your values instead of on perfection will help tremendously in feeling confident in who you are. Success is not a point in time, it is a continual process. So there will be ups and downs. Well, friends, I know this was quite the lengthy chat today. I do hope it was helpful to you or resonated with some of you. As always, I do love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. If you feel comfortable, let me know if you have felt like a fraud before and what was your experience with that. Also, I hope that you might stick around for the rest of the video for even more cleaning motivation. I did want to rearrange a few things in my room. I wanted this dog crate to be over in this corner where it wasn't as visible when you first walked into the room. Initially, we had it kind of closer to my side of the bed just because we thought our dog would prefer to be there, but I decided to just try it over in this corner and see if he would be okay with it. And he did in fact sleep in there last night, so I think he's okay with it. But also I did want to give it a quick clean while I was cleaning everything else. I did decide to take the plant and the blanket basket from that corner where I ended up putting the dog crate and move it to this corner over on my husband's side of the bed. But then I quickly realized that it was really crowded over there, especially because my husband has one of those chair pillows to kind of sit up in bed. And so I kind of needed a spot for that as well. So I did decide to go ahead and move the plant to my side of the bed. Well, friends, that is all for this Thoughtful Thursday video. And just a reminder, this is a collab this week, so definitely check out the link in my description box for the playlist. But thank you so much for watching this video all the way until the end, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!